guess the biggest question mark coming into this game for us was, um, on the short turnaround, there's not much you can do on Sunday, but you still practice a little bit. Practice on Sunday, you practice on Monday to get ready for a Tuesday game, and my thought process of going into today's game, one, you watch us miss shots at Miami, and a lot of them are in front of the rim, right? So I need to adjust practice a little bit to feel like we're a little bit fresher. So then maybe we make some of those shots in the second half. Two, I feel like I got to get us continuing to move the ball, continuing to attack, and play the right way. Right. So we spend a lot of time on the offensive side of the ball the last 2 days leading into this game, and my biggest fear is we're not going to guard the same way. um, I felt like we still guarded with pretty good effort. I didn't feel like we started the game the right way. Titus Wright was bullying those guys in the paint, but those are things that can be corrected. But um, for the most part, I thought we did a pretty good job. They're a great offensive rebounding team in the Tom Izzo mode. And Dwayne, I told him before the game, like there's some teams that come in here and in these bye games and like you don't know what they're trying to do. And in his second year, it's like I see what you're trying to do as a coach, like how they want to play, how they want to push it in transition, how they want to rebound. Like they have a system, they have a culture, and he's doing a really good job. And I thought for us, that was key to be able to still guard the same way without focusing or without putting too much focus on it leading in.
What's allowed Tay to really kind of settle into a role for you the last couple of games the way he has?
I think he's just getting more and more confident as it goes, right? I kind of expected this from him, right? I didn't know like when, but I recruited him in high school as he was younger, as a freshman and sophomore and a junior before I left Purdue. And this is kind of who he was. Like he plays with the ball in his hands. He's a guard. He's a tall guard, but he's a guard, and he's getting good at attacking closeouts. He's reading things. He's getting to the rim, and even the next stage for him is now develop his playmaking even more. But like he's playing really confidently, and we got to keep him here. He's playing with great effort. He gets you 19 and 10. He guards Hubbard for. I mean, the guy played 30. Hubbard played 36 minutes, and until we had to switch some things so we could double the post, like Tay's on him the whole game. So he's guarding the best guy, and he's scoring for you, and he's stepped up great for us.
He talked about just that the coach believing in him. Like, how much is it giving a player that like that who hasn't done it, just giving him the confidence to go and like you said, be himself out there?
Yeah, I think a lot of our guys, especially the guys that have been in college, that's all they want. That's all they've wanted, right? I think Jr. I think Zona. I think Roper. I think Tay, Keba. I was with Keba, but like that's all they want is somebody that believes in them. And now they're getting an opportunity, and they're playing really, really hard. And they're going to continue to get rewarded if they play that way. They're playing hard, and they're playing unselfish, and they're playing the right way. So, it's happy. I'm glad that we're seeing this kind of production from him, but those other guys as well.
Micah, you knew offensively this was going to be a brick by brick kind of building process. What bricks do you feel that you're putting down here recently?
Um, like we've simplified a lot in what we're running and what we're doing, right? Which has allowed guys to not have to think as much, right? That's the thing you want. And when you get somewhere, like I think for us, at Penn State, everybody got better in year two because they understood what we were doing. Um, like we needed to simplify earlier. Right, I had a vast playbook of stuff, and there's things that we want to do because you want to take advantage of the defense. But for us, we needed to simplify it and now work on getting really good at those certain things. And now you're kind of seeing it. I think, and it also helps that two teams in a row played similar pick and roll coverages, right? Not they weren't exactly the same, but they were similar, so we could attack it the same way. But now our reads are better, our extra passes are better, and attacking closeouts is getting better, right? And we only had 11 assists, but we got to the paint a lot. Like attacking those closeouts, we're making swing passes. Guys are getting into the paint and scoring in different ways. So the ball's really, really moving, and we're making decisions the right way. And I think it's good to see because that's what we've really focused on. It would really suck if we focused on it and we weren't seeing it.
When Jai struggles like this, how do you balance being a confidence giver and a guy that's got to kick him in the butt?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, right? Like, it's a little bit of both. Like, I still understand that. Like, he still has to play with a brace, right? So he's not catching the ball. Like, that's not who he is. Like, he can catch the ball. Like, he can rebound the ball with two hands. But right now he's playing with like one and three fingers, or one hand and three fingers, right? So he's not catching it the way he should. And then, like, once you struggle, obviously you just get a little down on yourself as well, right? So there's a delicate balance of keeping them motivated, but also like still giving them that belief. Like, we still got to throw the ball to him. We still got, when he does catch it, and like he's not always like getting to something, but he drew he drew 3 fouls. So like he's getting somebody out of the game. Somebody's absorbing those fouls and like getting us into the bonus. So now we're shooting more free throws. So like it's helpful for us to throw it to him still, even when he struggles. So that belief that like, hey man, we're gonna keep going to you. Like, you got to be better.
What about his presence on the defensive end? Because I know he communicates.
Yeah. No, he's a good anchor there. The way he talks, the way he directs everybody. He got a little like down on himself early because he wasn't guarding very much. So I got him out. Like, that's the greatest motivator is the bench. He didn't rebound, right? He didn't have any rebounds at halftime. Like, so that part of it we need from him. But he does. He's a guy that can close down space, that can close down gaps. They were turning the corner on a couple of plays, and we just changed to like, hey, don't drop. Just stay up flat and cut this off. And then he forced a couple of those. They kept snaking it. Artists kept snaking it across the court, and it was messing with our coverage. So we just told him to stay up and don't let him snake it, and he didn't. And he got him into a couple of those wild kind of pull-ups that he missed. And just him being able to do that on the fly in the middle of a game is pretty advanced.
Julian talked about how well he thought the players responded the past few days of practice after the loss to Miami, and he said there was a hunger and a hatred of losing. How did you see that? How do you continue to harvest that going forward?
I think that's, it's either who you are, or it's not who you are, right? Like, you can't turn that on and off. I guess they see me too. Like, I hate losing, hate it. Like, yeah, I'm not a guy you want to be around after a loss. At least that day, right? I get better as the days go on, but like, you want guys like that. That's a culture thing right there. Like, you got to recruit to that, and those are the guys we tried to bring in. Guys that are going to do whatever it takes for us to end up on the winning side. And when it doesn't happen that way, we can learn from it. But we ain't gonna like it. I can tell you that much.
Coach, you mentioned this is a bye game. You had 5 players, however, with at least 3 fouls, a couple guys with 4 fouls. Does that concern you at all, considering this was a bye game? Plus, you've got arguably your toughest test of the season coming up Saturday.
No, like, we're one of the best teams in the country at not fouling. They're sending people to the free throw line. Some of those fouls were like, they were dumb. Right, like that's something that I'm talking to Marcus and telling him, like, we don't need any more assistant coaches. I got a lot of them over there. Like, I need you on the court, I need you to play, but like, still being a young player, like, you turn it over and then comes down and fouls. Right now, like, right before the half, he fouls twice. Now he's at 3. Like, if he doesn't foul those 2 times, he can challenge that shot when he turns over in the second half, and it's inconsequential. But because he did foul those 2 times. That meant a lot. Now he's sitting on the side for a long time, right? Like, we'll take aggressive fouls, but not silly fouls, right? Because we're going to play aggressive. We're going to play physical defense. We can't have the silly fouls because those put them in the bonus. I thought at the end of the half we had silly fouls, and they got free throws at the end and cut into that lead. Like, I keep telling them, like, we have to save those silly fouls because we need the aggressive fouls. Like, we got to hit people. And, like, every once in a while, we're going to get a moving screen. Every once in a while, we're going to get a box-out screen. But those are aggressive fouls. And we've done a good job of playing without fouling. And, tonight was the one time we did.
On a more positive note, Braden really has emerged as your three-point specialist. Is this something that you know about him, being not only his coach, but also his father?
Yeah, shit. I guess I wish he played more home games. He's a confident kid. Like, he's not going to let, off shooting nights really bother him at all. We were at Penn State for 2 years. There's probably nobody, and there have been a lot of good players that have come through there. A lot of hard workers come through there. Probably nobody took more shots in that gym than he did. and he's probably approaching the number at Ross right now. Like, this dude is, like, in the gym nonstop, working on his shot, shooting. Like, that's what he does. So he's not going to stray away from, letting it go. But I think of the 6 shots, they were all really good shots. They're really good shots. Kick out threes. We were moving the ball better, and now those are like practice shots that he's shooting.
Maybe one more with we'll go to Jack and then with Tom.
Micah, you mentioned moving the ball better. Marcus, I think, had his most assists in the season with 6. How'd you like what he did as a facilitator?
I thought he was great. The hard thing for a young guy, especially a young guy that can really score the ball, is constantly making the right play. And how people have guarded us, the right play has been him attacking the pick and roll and passing out of it. And now that's gotten everything really flowing and moving. He scored 17 points and he took 6 shots, but he took really good shots. He's getting the ball back on swings, like as he moves it, and now they swing it. The next guy drives it, and they swing it, and they swing it. Now it's coming back to him. Now he's the one attacking closeouts, right? And the defense isn't set. Defense is still scrambling. That's how he can get to the rim right there. If he tries to attack on the first side, the defense is just standing there staring at him. This is going to be really hard for him. So I think the last 2 games, he didn't shoot it well at Miami, 3 for 11, but I thought how he moved the ball to get us started in offense was unbelievable. 2 games in a row, and you're seeing the growth from him, and he's a big part of what we do, scoring and getting assists. Now, if he's getting 17 and 6 assists, it's hard to zone up. It's hard to key on him because now he's scoring it in a lot of different ways.
You're a month in now. What's been the greatest growth from November 6th to December 5th?
I don't know. We've emphasized the defensive end so much, and and we still maybe I'm a tough critic or a tough judge, but I didn't feel like we played great defensively tonight. They scored 65, right? There's mistakes you take. Miami had 62, and they probably had 3 pick sixes, right? Where we just threw it to them. They went down and dunked. We're guarding people. We're getting people into the right shots that we want them to take. We've been a really good defensive rebounding team so far. That part there is what we've hung our hat on. It's given us a chance to be in every game, right, except for the Auburn game. We've been in every single one. Our mistakes have killed us in stretches. We've turned the ball over way too much. To see 13 turnovers is encouraging, even though I'd love for us to be at 10 or under. But to see 13, it's not 16, it's not 20, right? That's an area where we got to keep growing. But, we've hung our hat on the defensive end to give us a chance. That's all we need is a chance to hang in there. And then there's nights when we can really score it, where now we got to come through and win it. But for a young team that, like, we don't recognize actions, man. Like, I could stand in practice and I'm like yelling. Like, I saw a clip on Coach Fairley showing out of bounds today, and it's a play that, like, you know, everybody in America runs from middle school through college. And I just see them line up, and I'm like, I know exactly what's coming. And then we go walk through, and our guys have no idea. I'm like, come on, man. Like, Dwayne Stevens is not the only person in America running this play. Like, for a team that doesn't see the game or understand it defensively yet, we're really guarding, right? And that's just purely effort right now. It's just purely effort. We're going to keep getting better at recognizing situations, recognizing plays. They beat us on 2 plays in the second half. They ran 2 plays, and we still didn't understand what was going on, what was happening. Like, wait till we start understanding what's going on and seeing it and talking to each other. Holy smokes, might be okay.
Tay, what's allowed you to kind of find a role here the last couple of games and being able to score, rebound, do a little of everything, handle the ball?
I think just like coach giving me the opportunity to and believing in me, and my teammates believing in me as well. Just trying to play hard. You know, that's our motto, just to play hard for each other. So.
What's it like to have somebody believe in you and maybe allow you to show parts of your game that you haven't been able to show in college?
It means the world to all of us. You know, coach believes in all of us to be able to do, you know, whatever, you know, we do on the court, honestly. So it means the world to us as a whole.
Julian, how were you able to turn it on in the second half? I don't think you missed a single shot the entire second half.
Yeah, man. Really, coach was just telling me that I was just thinking about everything too much. Just go out there and play like how I know how to play. And so I just took that with me in the second half, and my teammates pushed me to just play, just come out and hoop. So that's what I did in the second.
Julian, how important was that, buzzer beating bucket, with Western Michigan having gone on a run, getting some momentum heading in the second half?
Oh yeah, it was just a big shot going into the half just to stop the momentum. I didn't think much of it, but I guess it kind of got me going, and it got us kind of going in the right track going into the second half. So.
And Braden, you really found your 3-point shot tonight. What was working for you?
I think just being ready for the opportunity. Like, we know how they were guarding, so I knew like where my shots were coming from, so just knocking them in.
Braden, you seem to have found a role on this team as a 3-point specialist. So how does that impact the strategy that revolves around you going forward with this team?
I mean, just being ready to make shots and step up and make shots. I know that's something I got to do for this team, and yeah.
Braden, coming off the bench, how has that made you a better player so far?
I think just seeing things early in the game, like how other teams are guarding, and just getting into a better rhythm into the game.
Does it motivate you a little bit more coming off the bench?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you get taken out of the lineup, you're basically being told you're not good enough. So that's always a motivation for me.
Tay, you really have come around lately with your game, but now you've got a really tough opponent coming up in Marquette on Saturday. So how do you prepare for that, knowing that they might try and revolve their defensive game plan around you?
As a team, we're gonna work hard to prepare for Marquette, and we're gonna watch the film on them and try to attack them in the best way that our coaches give us a game plan to be able to. So we'll come back and try to figure that out, and put our best foot forward.
Julian, one of 4 guys in double figures. As one of the leaders of the team, how do you help manifest this performance forward? How do you help these guys carry this forward?
I mean, I don't really think it's just me. I think it starts in practice. We have great practices, especially leading up to this game, coming off a loss against Miami. And we just took that drive that we had in us just to come out here and have this type of performance. And we're going to try to, stack days with it leading into Marquette. So.
What made the practices great?
Just our hunger, from losing. I think every one of us hates to lose. In that locker room, we knew we definitely could have beat Miami. We just fell short, and we just wanted to come back and bring it out tonight and try to keep it rolling next game.
Julian, as one of the older guys, where do you see this team progressing offensively, not only in games but on the practice court as well?
Yeah, I think we just got to get a lot of more easier shots. I feel like we get into a lot of ISO ball a little bit, but we're still just figuring it out. Coach is helping us along the way. It's just learning each other. We're still early in the season, so we're just trying to learn how to play off each other, and we got a lot of younger guys and a whole brand new team, so that's a whole new aspect to everything. So we're just gelling one game at a time.
Did you, I mean, you didn't have a whole bunch of scorers coming into the season. Did you anticipate that the offensive end was going to be a work in progress?
I mean, you could see that with any team coming in, like especially like a brand new team with a lot of younger guys. Everyone's trying to figure out their roles. I know I'm still like trying to figure out when I can get my shots, and I know they could say the same thing. But I think as we keep going and keep practicing it, it'll fall into place.
Brandon, did you have a good feeling that you were going to have a good three-point shooting night tonight when you were warming up before the game?
I mean, I shot it well in warm-ups, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, sometimes when I shoot it really good in warm-ups, I'll have a terrible shooting game, so I don't really know.
What allowed you guys to answer their runs there? It seemed like if they get to 4, you'd be up to 13. Get to 7, you got that back to 18.
Yeah, when they went on the runs, coach just had us in the timeouts and in the huddles. Just keep playing our principles and keep doing the things we know we can do. We got a little flustered a little bit at times, but we were able to come back down and just regroup and withstand the runs.
Tay, what was different offensively tonight with you guys?
I think just trusting each other, trusting the plan, trusting each other. Each and every player on the team is capable of putting the ball in the basket. You know, everybody believes that, the coaching staff and every single body that's on the team. So just trusting each other, trusting, you know, the process and the plan. So.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.